My 5 rules of life. You know, if I got hit by a bus tomorrow and I was gone from this earth, wiped out, what would I be telling my 2 little boys? And the first thing I would talk about is always be a student, always be learning. You know, I think it's weird that a lot of people, not everybody, but a lot of people, they literally stop reading and stop learning after they graduate from high school or college. And it's just crazy. And I think part of the juice of life and one of the things that motivates me is actually learning new things, learning new information about the world, learning new information about, you know, our bodies and how our brains work and just how airplanes fly, all kinds of cool stuff out there. And I think that when you get to a point in your life where you kind of act like you know everything, that's like the beginning of the end. That's like death, you know, because then nothing fascinates you anymore. Nothing's interesting or exciting. And so if you have that curiosity as a kid, let's keep that. Keep that curiosity, be inquisitive, because I'm telling you, life is so much better when you're always a student and you keep that student hat on. Now, the second rule for life is help others. You know, there's been so many times where I needed help when I was growing up, whether, you know, in my early years in business, or maybe I was in junior high. Matter of fact, my 7th grade math teacher, her name was Mrs. Dooley, and she said, Jefferson, why don't you take this test, you know, this to get into honors math? And I'm like, oh, okay, you know, I guess she thought I was doing pretty good. I love numbers, I love math. So I took the test and I got an 88 on it. So I actually passed the test and I got accepted into honors math. And that was a big help for me because she was actually one of the first people that have ever believed more in me than I believed in myself. And that was that was her helping me out. You know, there's been times where, you know, I've had to borrow money from people and they helped me out. And then guess what? I pay that forward. And it's just incredible. Or, you know, taking the trash out for someone who's out of town. I mean, helping your neighbors out. Other things that don't take that much time, or maybe it does take a lot of time, but it's something that you know, that really makes your heart sing, so to speak. I know it might sound kind of mushy, but I think that when you get that habit and work out that muscle of helping others, I think it makes our lives much more richer. You know, because it's not all about us, and it's all about our life and our little box and all that kind of stuff. We're out there thinking about how can we help other people. And I think that's a great way to come from in life versus, hey, take, let's give. And I'm telling you, it all comes out. You know, the whole, you know, paying it forward and, you know, giving and receiving, it all comes out. And I think that's a great rule to live by. Number 3 is see things as they could be and then make them so. I mean, just a little silly example. What if you're at a restaurant and you see something on the ground, a piece of trash? Are you the type of person that walks by, say, well, it's the waiter or waitress's job to do that? Or do you stop down and pick something up and throw it in the trash or something? Or maybe, you know, you're in the hallway at your office, or you're just somewhere. Or maybe you're working on some project. Maybe it's a marketing project, maybe it's a video, maybe it's something. And you're not you have this vision in your head of what it's supposed to be, but it's not there yet. Are you the type of person that kind of settles, like, well, I want to get the job done, you know, it's almost 5 o'clock, I gotta go? Or are you the type of person that's like, you know what, I know how it should be, we're not quite there yet. And putting in the extra time and the extra hours to create that quality project or whatever you're doing. You know, and I think that this works well for our relationships that we're in. You know, have that vision for the relationship that you want for your spouse and your children and your family. And if it's not there, make it so. It's, you know what, it's impossible to change people, but we all heard this, you can change yourself. I know it's easier said than done, but maybe this video might help you start thinking in that same direction and the right direction of that. And so if you want things, I mean, that's what leaders do. They see things as they could be and then they make it so. And that's what you should do. All right, number 4. Number 4 is never, ever give up. You know, we get excited about something, right? And you've gotten excited about something. And what happens is, and I've done this before, is I've stopped short of the goal. And somebody else hit it and I didn't. And that really, really frustrated me. And there's many, many times that I'm at where I'm at in life right now because I've never given up. And there's times where I feel like it's impossible. It's not gonna work. You know, everything's against me. It feels that way. But then I keep on doing it. I just take it one day at a time. A lot of people ask me, Jefferson, how have you made it from being, negative in your bank account and now 7 figures? How do you do that? Well, one of my answers is I took it one day at a time. It's not about taking it a week at a time. It's not about taking it a year at a time. Really a life is moment to moment, right? And you want to be present in that moment. But that's what I did. I just chunked it out day by day. I didn't try to, leap a building in a single bound like Superman does or something like that. And, once again, with social media and TV and all these people and magazine covers with the airbrushing and all that, there's so much stuff out there that's not really real. And when we're on social media and on TV or whatever, you're seeing things that have been doctored up. You're seeing things that are not really real. And so what's happening is it's stealing your joy. It's stealing your motivation to keep going forward. And the thing is that for me, I was very persistent in everything I did. I was very persistent, and I went through it. Matter of fact, when I transferred from the Naval Academy to TCU, I went to East Bay Catalog and bought all the parachutes and all the stuff that makes you run really fast, not makes you run really fast, resistance training, which helps you run faster if you work at it. So that's what I did, because I was afraid of showing up at TCU because I had to walk on. All the scholarships were gone. And I said, listen, I need to be the fastest person when I get there, and I need to be the most in shape person when I get there. And so I literally worked for 4 months straight by myself, going to the track, going to the field, doing all kinds of sprints and parachutes and using the strength shoes and platform shoes and all that crazy stuff. And I did that because I knew that I needed to prepare myself for that opportunity. And when I walked on, obviously I made the team and actually played in Division 1A college football, which is it's an incredible world out there. And so I never gave up. Yeah, I was never the fastest kid on the entire team, but I had the biggest heart, and I sure as heck had a huge work ethic, and I brought people along with me. I know that I inspired a lot of my teammates just because of the work ethic that I did. I was going to the weight room earlier. I was staying a little later. You know who else was in there? LaDainian Tomlinson, one of the top NFL running backs, who's now retired. We went to school together at TCU. So never, ever, ever give up. And right before you get to your finish line, that's where the resistance is going to be the hardest sometimes. Right before you get to the finish line. So just be prepared for that. Professionals prepare for that, so never give up. And the last one, number 5, rule number 5 is this: honor people, because everybody has a story. I mean, think about it. I don't know you. There's a lot of you I don't know. There's a lot of you that I do know. And what really is refreshing and humbling is to be able to meet someone new and build rapport with them and just kind of ask them, hey, what's your story? What's going on for you? Where'd you grow up? What happened for you that got you to this place? And they start to share, and I'm telling you, some of these stories bring me to tears. Some of these stories inspire me. I mean, it's just incredible what I hear. And here's something else that I want you to think about is when you're driving down the road and somebody cuts you off, we have no idea why they cut you off. You could get mad at them, and most people do. I mean, I've been guilty of that as well, but what else could it mean? Could that person be rushing their baby to the hospital? Maybe. You rock up to the bank teller counter, and maybe she's kind of having a bad day, and you could, one way you could think of, well, she's rude to me, or you could ask them, well, hey, what's going on? Are you okay? And all of a sudden, they might open up and start talking. And so the thing is, there's so many different things that people are going through in stages in their life right now. We're in this world together. It's not like we have all these other planets we could just fly to, right? We have to honor people. Why? Because that's who we're married to. That's who's part of our family. That's who we work with. And I think it's a lost value here, especially in America, and and maybe some other countries around the world, because I travel a lot. In some countries, it's strong, and where that honor is strong, I'm telling you, trust is strong, and business gets done really, really fast. Well, when the honor's not there, the respect isn't there, and the trust isn't there, and the business goes very, very slow. The relationships kind of fall apart. And so I always kind of go back to relationships because that's what life's all about. And when you honor people, it really increases the juice in life for you, and it increases the juice in life for the people that you're communicating to. So in wrapping up here, the 5 things are, number 1, you always have to be a student. You have to always be learning. Help others. I think your life will be way better if you help others. See things as they could be and make them so. Then your life will be even better after that. And then never give up. Never give up. Because what about the person that you're going to be? Think about that. If you gave up, you'll never get there. And honor people, because everybody has a story and somebody is always going through something. So with that said, I hope those 5 rules to life have encouraged you and is going to help you arrive at your intended destination healthy, wealthy, and happy.